that the Federal Reserve Bank of New York says owe $1.6 trillion. Well, they're thinking boycott. They're considering refusing to repay in the face of the Supreme Court, putting the kibosh on President Biden's plan to forgive about $20,000 worth of their individual debt back in June. Biden has a new proposal to help, but what do parents and students need to know now about it and the future of student debt? Jennifer Finetti, Director of Student Advocacy with Scholarship Owl, with me now live to talk more about the SAVE plan. Good morning. Jennifer?
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The Education Data Initiative reports that the average student loan borrower has about $37,300 outstanding. For private borrowers, it's almost $55,000 apiece. That is a lot of money. Could be the biggest financial undertaking for folks who haven't even ever bought a house yet. Maybe in some parts of the country haven't bought a car. Could be very overwhelming. How could the SAVE plan save them?
The SAVE plan can really help borrowers. So right now, students that are on an income-based payment plan are paying up to 10% of their discretionary income. But if they switch to the SAVE plan, they can reduce that 50% to about 5% of their discretionary income. So it's a really big savings. And for many borrowers, they actually will pay $0 according to the SAVE plan, depending on their income.
So that's kind of been one of the confusing things, because it has been a big selling point from the Biden administration, is that there will be consideration for what borrowers are bringing home every 2 weeks. But there have already been income sensitive repayment plans for student loans for years and forbearances.
Exactly. Yeah. But this time it's going to be much better. You know, a difference between 10% and 5% of discretionary income will save the typical borrower about $1,000 a year in payments. So that is a big deal for students and borrowers. And, it doesn't really take the sting away from those who are really counting on student debt forgiveness, but it does help, and it will make a difference for so many borrowers.
A lot of people really looking for that. There's this potential boycott movement afoot when it comes to student loan bills. Intelligent.com reports that 62% of folks they surveyed said they doubt they'll be able to afford these returning payments. 71% saying that they have or plan to take on extra work to try and handle them. Already this year, as of March, 2.5 million borrowers had at least one delinquent non-student loan. But choosing not to pay the student debt can have serious consequences, right? Garnishment of your wages up to 15%?
Absolutely. I think the biggest mistake that a borrower can make is simply deciding not to make payments or burying their head in the sand, because these are debts that are not going to go away. They cannot be dispelled in bankruptcy, at least at this point. So the best thing you can do is actually contact your loan servicer, explain your financial situation, and see what they can do for you. Deferment and forbearance is still an option for students who need those opportunities. But remember that just by deferring and forbearing the loan, it doesn't cancel it. What it does is it sort of kicks the can down the road. But for some borrowers, that can really be helpful. Also, there is a transitionary phase of the first 12 months of repayment where students who may not be able to make their full payment may be able to make a partial payment or something like that to help them out while they're transitioning in this phase. And the Biden administration has said that they will not report those students to the credit bureaus. So there is some help there for those who need more of a transition.
And we just want to emphasize that suspension or revocation of professional licenses, like for firefighters, teachers, lawyers, nurses, that's in the offing. Also, your Social Security benefits can be withheld if you're not doing right by your loans. Now, before we let you go, given inflation and what we've seen the Fed do with interest rates, should private borrowers try to refinance student loan debt, which again, on average for a bachelor's degree is about $55,000? Should they try and refinance now? Could that be any kind of a solution?
It is possible to consider refinancing or doing a consolidation loan if you have many different loans and you're confused about how to pay them all. Sometimes having a single payment can make a difference. But just remember that if you refinance or consolidate, any of these different repayment plan options that are available when they are a regular federal student loan, those options go away, because then you're dealing with a private lender and you only then have the options available from the private lender. So, it's really best to first contact the organization servicing your current student loans, talk to them about your options. For those students who are unaware of who their loan servicer is, which is true for many borrowers, you can go to studentaid.gov and you can find your loan servicer and then contact them that way.
Alrighty, that is an important distinction. If you're dealing with the government, stay there before you go off someplace else and then lose your chance to access some of the new programs that are coming out. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.